Hey guys, I did try to record a video in a much longer format on my Zoom. I may have exited Zoom a little too quickly, but I want to talk to my fellow SaaS developers, SaaS founders about the consequences of your design. So I've learned a lot just being in retail about live consumer behavior. And basically, consumers are not quite as educated as we would like them to be. They're not us. They're not nerdy nerds. And one good example is when they come with their digital receipt to make a return. And maybe they have it on dark mode because they're young and their eyes are still good. But what happens? The scanner won't scan it. There's not enough contrast. Or they'll take a screenshot and it'll be the same thing. So then we have to ask the customer for their phone, type in the little numbers. The customer gets frustrated. The customers behind them get frustrated. The customers behind them get frustrated. And what was built as a simple feature to make the returns process more efficient actually breaks. And it breaks because no one considered that a customer would be using dark mode on their phone. So design, features, the UI, they all have consequences. Natural consequences. If I drop something, it's gonna fall and hit the ground because of gravity. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. That's just physics. That's just the law of science. So when we are building things and saying in Build in Public's subreddit for SaaS or SaaS marketing, they're saying, well, how do I get my first 10 customers? My challenge to you is to go ahead and look at your website. Is it in dark mode? Because I can almost guarantee you that the people who are going to be buying your software at scale for large, medium organizations, business owners, are going to be wearing one of these. And these are not the Meta glasses, they're not Google glasses, they're just readers. And readers magnify because your eyes age. You're young, you don't know this yet. But when you wake up at 45 years old, there's a little pair of reading glasses on your pillow like the tooth fairy. It just happens. So dark mode could not be the worst thing ever. Also, we were doing that in the 90s. So anyway, continuing on, all of these decisions, these feature and design decisions, they have consequences, and they could be really good consequences. They could help you get more and more customers. But mostly what I see is people saying, how do I get my first 10? How about having a book a demo? How about having a demo page? How about linking to a demo video? Create a video on YouTube, link to that. Hire somebody like me to manage the distribution, relationships, customer service, and insights on X, where people are there to get product recommendations, to learn about you, to find solutions to their problems, which also might be your software, right? So, you don't want to make thumbnails in Canva anymore? Boom, thumbnailcreator.com or thumbnail generator, whatever it is. Thumbnail generator? I think it's thumbnailgenerator.com. Either way, you get 10 free, right? So you could do that. I do it. Now that we have dark mode, but not too long ago and still lingering around the internet, is the old Facebook kind of vibe where it's white background with super light text. I mean, this is almost cryptic for anybody who needs a pair of these glasses. I'll bounce, or I'll put it in reader mode on Safari if I'm on my phone. So you're going to lose somebody like me because I don't have the patience to find out what you're talking about. Vague language, that's another good one. Vague language is your enemy. If you're creating solutions that optimize performance, what does that mean? Could we change the whole design and it work for a total different industry? Yes, probably, most likely, right? But you're not thinking about that. You're thinking, this website looks cool. I have all these graphics. They load. They do all this stuff. I did it myself. I had Claude make these JavaScript reactions and everything like that, and motions, and it's lazy loading and everything. It's just too much. It's too much. You're not building your website so that your peers will give you an award. Well, maybe you are. But you should be building your website to get those first 10 customers, to get those first 10 demos. And it's easy to book that demo instead of having the user fill out a form and then you email them, they email you, you email them. Just embed your booking calendar. Let them go ahead and book. You might get some salespeople, but just do what I do. I turn it into a sales call. They're trying to sell me, and I turn it into a sales call. And they're like, oh, wow, you really gave me some great insight. Well, you know what? That's an opportunity to talk to somebody else who may talk to other people about your product. So flip the script. Navigation issues. Let's talk about the mega menu. I have a MacBook Pro 13-inch. Admittedly, it's from 2015. I plan to buy a new one as soon as I can this year. And those mega menus, they make me leave. I can't deal with it. I can't. And stop burying your blog. You're burying your blog under resources or something. And it only says feature update version 1.1.7.2. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. That's for your knowledge base. That's for the changelog on GitHub. That's not for your blog. You have to translate your features into sellable points from your customer standpoint. And maybe you can't do that. That's why people hire BridgetWillard.com. That's me. Because that's what we do. We write those articles that give the use case. We get those ideas for the articles from being on X, managing your X account, seeing what other people are talking about, putting out Google alerts, finding how people are talking about this, that, the other thing, following your prospects, following and listing your ideal client base, right? So it's not just posting. You can't just post. You can't just automate. It doesn't work like that. You have to go in there, you have to be present, and you have to do that. It's the only way it really works. I've been doing this since 2015 for SaaS companies, and I mean, that's a long time. It's a big track record. Actually, a lot of my clients have been acquired, which is most every founder's dream. So again, stop asking if another developer would think your website, your feature is cool, and start asking if this makes your customer's life easier, and you will find more customers. I'm Bridget Willard. Thanks for watching. Bye.